Is it possible that the most astonishing Roman ruin isn't in Rome? Could one of the greatest relics of the ancient empire be hiding here in a quiet corner of the British countryside? Today, we're on a day trip from London to the city of Bath, once a sacred retreat for the Romans and now a living gallery of neoclassical design, sweeping vistas, and architectural perfection. We begin at Paddington Station, a masterpiece of Victorian engineering by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Still the gateway to England's west, it connects London to cities like Bath, where our journey unfolds. I'm Quinn Russell, the architectural journalist based in Dubai, but always en route. And this is Traveller's Bazaar, my global archive exploring architecture, culture, and nature through the lens of design and storytelling. Today, our walking tour begins at Parade Garden. Just a short walk from the train station. Once you arrive in Bath, head straight along the main road and you'll find this elegant terrace tucked along the River Avon. Originally laid out in the 18th century, Parade Garden was once reserved for the city's fashionable elite. Today, it's a public green space, but it still holds that refined Georgian charm with manicured lawns, stone balustrades, and views that stretch across centuries. It was misty the day I visited, light rain brushing the hedges and river below, but somehow it made the whole place feel very cinematic, almost like a Turner painting. From here, you get a perfect view of one of Bath's most iconic landmarks, Pulteney Bridge. We'll be heading there next. From this angle, you can clearly see how it spans the Avon with a kind of theatrical elegance. From Parade Garden, it's just a short walk to one of Bath's most iconic landmarks, Pulteney Bridge. This 18th century Georgian bridge is just one of four historic bridges in the world that are fully built up with shops along both sides of its span, a rare architectural feature. Designed by Robert Adam in 1774, the bridge was inspired by the grandeur of the Ponte Vecchio in Florence, but with a distinctly British refinement. Here, symmetry rules, and every detail is rooted in the elegance of Georgian design. Clean lines, creamy Bath stone, and those uniform arched windows that feel like they belong in a storybook. There are cafes tucked along the bridge, including one toward the far end where you can sit quietly and watch the river pass below. It's the kind of spot where you could lose hours just reading, reflecting, or people watching. Just a few steps from the bridge, I found myself pulled into a place I hadn't planned to visit but couldn't ignore, Guildhall Market. What caught my eye first was the dome, a giant circular roof that rises from the surrounding buildings like a quiet beacon. And if you know me, you know if there's a dome, I'm going inside. Domes always catch my attention. Maybe it's the way they hold light, the way sound travels through them, or maybe it's just that quiet feeling of monumentality they bring to a space. This one was no different. Inside the market is a mix of independent vendors, small shops, food stalls, a hardware store, even a barber shop. It's polished but comfortably rustic, nothing too precious. It's still a working market and you can feel the rhythm of daily life as much as the footfall of visitors. You can stop here for a simple bite, grab a coffee, or browse shelves and antiques and curiosities. But what struck me most was the sense of continuity. It's not just for show, it's for Bath. And maybe that's why I'm always drawn to markets. Traveller's Bazaar was born from this exact feeling that in every great city, there's a place where people gather to share, to trade, to tell stories. My platform is a digital version of that, a place where architecture, culture, and nature come together and find a home. This is one of those unexpected moments that remind you why you should travel. It's not always the grand monument, it's sometimes the market under the dome. Just steps from Guildhall Market, maybe a minute's walk, you arrive at the very reason Bath exists. This was the moment I came for. From the very beginning of the day, this was the site, the Roman baths. Built nearly 2,000 years ago, this complex is one of the best preserved Roman baths in the world, and the reason Bath became, well, Bath. The Romans called this Aqua Sulis, the waters of Sulis, a Celtic goddess that merged with their very own Minerva. And this entire complex is built around a natural hot spring, the only one of its kind in Britain. What's fascinating is the Roman mindset here. This wasn't just a spa, this was a sacred space, a place for healing, socializing, worship, even politics. Imagine columns rising through steam, conversations echoing off warm stone, half religious ceremony, half social salon. Architecturally, it's a layering of time. The original 1st century Roman structure sits beneath later additions, like the Victorian terrace that now overlooks the Great Bath. And when you're walking through it, there's this strange but beautiful collision of ruin and reconstruction. Original stone beside recreated statues, temple pediments, fragments of mosaic. Before you actually get to the baths, you go through a full museum experience. The path takes you underground through a series of rooms that give context to what you're about to see. You move through scaled models, timelines, and architectural displays explaining how the site was built, discovered, and reconstructed. There's a clear sense of sequence. It's not just a collection of objects, it's showing you how the baths fit into Roman life. What I liked most is how you start seeing glimpses of the main bath early on. Through openings and walkways, you catch parts of the columns or a glimpse of water from above. It builds anticipation in a really subtle way. You're not just dropped into the main space, you're led to it, and by the time you arrive, you've already seen pieces of it. It's a smart layout. Once you reach the main bath, the scale of it really hits you. It's open air, surrounded by stone columns and walkways, with layers of history visible in every direction. The pool itself is larger than expected. You can almost picture the movement, people wading in, steam rising, conversations happening along the edges. Around the space, they've installed projections onto the walls and stone. They show scenes of what daily life would have looked like here. People bathing, talking, even working out. It wasn't just a spa, this was part of their routine. Physical fitness, religious offerings, socializing, it all happened in one place. What stands out is how real it feels. It's not overdone or overly reconstructed. You still see the original surfaces, but the projections give just enough to help you visualize what it once was without removing what it is now. It's immersive but respectful. You're not watching a performance, you're standing in the setting, and the history itself unfolds. There's something deeply poetic about being here. It's not a ruin that feels dead. It feels alive, still humming with ritual and memory. You can't swim in it anymore, but you can feel the pull of water, of story, of time. Where myth, architecture, and belief converge, Bath becomes more than a name. It becomes a rhythm, a ritual, a place that holds. After exploring the Roman baths, I stopped for a quick bite at the bakehouse. I went for a beef Cornish pastry, not a Bath specialty. It's originally from Cornwall, but you'll find them all over the country. After that, I kept exploring the city on foot, passing more of those soft Bath limestone facades. I was headed toward the circus, which isn't a circus in the modern sense. No clowns or tents. It's actually a perfectly circular street lined with Georgian townhouses, designed in the 18th century to feel like a grand urban stage. A short walk from there is the Royal Crescent, a sweeping arc of 30 connected Georgian homes, one of the most photographed spots in Bath. I didn't make it that far thanks to the downpours, but if you're visiting, both are worth seeing. And next up, in the final episode of our UK series, we'll visit Kensington Palace, an icon of British royal history, but more importantly, home to a space that honors one of the most celebrated women of the 20th century, Princess Diana. Tucked away within the palace grounds is a quiet memorial garden that truly captures her spirit. Elegant, thoughtful, and deeply human. I can't wait to share that moment with you. I'm Quinn Russell, the architectural journalist based in Dubai, but always en route. You can check out my other travel series from Japan, Korea, and Dubai. And coming up next, I'll be heading to Istanbul and Bodrum to share some incredibly luxury experiences. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Travelers Bazaar. See you in the next episode.